In 1752, the people of Britain and its colonies went to sleep on September the 2nd and woke up the next morning on September the 14th. The government had literally deleted 11 days of existence to align the calendar with the sun. Now, there was actually a satirical painting by William Hogarth in 1755, which featured a banner with the slogan, "Give us our 11 days," and the idea being that people felt like life was being stolen from them because the map of time didn't match the territory of their lives. So here's the thing. We are living through that exact same sensation right now, albeit slightly differently and somewhat in reverse. Nobody deleted our days, but we've packed so much informational density into them that the calendar in your pocket has become pretty much a legal fiction. Now, I want to be clear. The standard narrative says we're just busy, but that isn't it. It's not that you have a long to-do list. It's that the metabolic rate of the world has shifted. In the time it took our ancestors to experience a decade of change, we now go through that much change in just a few months. Now, my estimate on this is right now we're living with a 4-month year. If you measure a year by progress rather than the position of the stars, of course, you've already lived through 3 years since last January 2025. And we're accelerating. Within the next 50 years, we are rapidly heading into what is called the 11-day year. So think about it. The news just this week, in the zero action economy of 2026, we've moved past just chatting with AI. We are seeing autonomous agents that don't just help, they orchestrate. They are coding platforms, navigating complex legal structures, and pretty much conducting scientific research in hours that used to take us decades. Now, just recently, a single AI lab, for instance, announced it had simulated a century of protein folding evolution in an afternoon. Just an afternoon. So, what? Why does this feel so exhausting? Well, it's because of the Red Queen effect. So in Lewis Carroll's Through the Looking Glass, the Red Queen tells Alice it takes all the running you can do to keep in the same place. Now, in evolutionary biology, this explains why a fox gets faster only because the rabbit got faster first. Neither is getting ahead. They're simply locked in a desperate energetic stalemate just to avoid extinction. Now, apply this to our 4-month year. We've built tools that allow us to work 10 times faster, and so logic suggests we should all be sitting on the beach with a drink in our hand, certainly by Tuesday afternoon. But we aren't. Why? Because as soon as the tool makes us faster, the baseline for competitive behavior shifts. We are the rabbits and the foxes, sprinting harder and harder just to maintain our current slice of the pie. It's actually a bit silly that we cling to the idea of a single objective year at all. I mean, even today, we don't have one calendar. There are hundreds around the planet. We have a patchwork of realities. We've got the Gregorian calendar for business, the Hijri or Hebrew calendars for faith and so on. We've got solar calendars for agriculture. We've always lived in multiple timelines. The difference now is that the machine timeline is cannibalizing the human one. Now, to understand how we survive this, we have to look back at an even stranger historical trend. So in the 18th century, it was a bizarre status symbol for wealthy land barons to hire a professional hermit to live in their garden. So this person was paid a salary to sit in a grotto, grow a long beard, and essentially do absolutely nothing but contemplate the universe. Visitors would walk through the estate, see the hermit and whisper, like, look at him, he's thinking. It sounds ridiculous, right? But those land barons understood something we've forgotten. Deep, unhurried thought is actually so rare and so valuable that it was worth paying a salary for. But let's follow the thread. Okay, today, who are the land barons now? Well, they're our techno-feudal overlords. The massive AI conglomerates and big tech titans who own the estates, the servers, the data, and the algorithms. They want us running this Red Queen's race on their digital land. They want us to be the workers in their gardens, and we essentially are. We can't do anything without using one of their spreadsheets or models or anything like that. So let's take a radical perspectivist shift. So if you want to move from being a serf to being a strategist, you have to reclaim the role of the hermit. And to do that, we need to enter the age of contemplation. So contemplation is the marriage of computation, the machine's ability to process at light speed, and contemplation, your human ability to sit and stare out of a window and ponder. Think about it. In a world where AI can do a year's worth of doing in 11 days, the value of you doing has effectively dropped to zero. The only scarcity left in the techno-feudal estate is stillness. Now what? How do you actually apply this? You have to cultivate the radical ability to stop and stare out of the window. I mean, how much of your day is spent really just thinking? Not responding, not checking, not processing, but daydreaming. So in the age of contemplation, staring out the window is no longer a luxury or a sign of laziness. It's a high leverage strategic act. It's the asymmetrical opportunity. And what it is that in the 11-day year, the most valuable skill isn't speed. The most valuable skill is direction. Running at the speed of light doesn't matter if you're headed toward a brick wall. So when the world gets faster, the person who pauses to check the compass pretty much becomes the most powerful person in the room. As counterintuitive as that might feel, the AI is your engine, but your contemplation is the steering wheel. If you don't take your hands off the keyboard and put your head in the clouds once in a while, you aren't a strategist. You're just an expensive component in the land baron's machine. We need to stop building amplifiers that just make us louder and faster. We need to start building instruments, what I call Thinkstrumentalism. An instrument isn't just a tool. It's something you play to create harmony and meaning. The calendar is breaking. The Red Queen is screaming for you to go faster and faster. The techno-feudal overlords are waiting for your next click. So don't step off the track. Sit down, stare out the window, because in a world of infinite computation, the most radical, powerful, and profitable thing you can do is think. Let's stop being the foxes and the rabbits. Let's be the ones who decide where the track actually goes. So, how are you handling the 4-month year? Comment below. I'd love to hear.